Okay, let us start the class. So in today's class, I am going to explain socket programming in Python. Okay. So first of all, let me go for file, new file, new file, Python file. This is VS Code, Visual Studio Code, IDE for the programming. Okay. So Rahul, may I know you are from where? You are attending the classes. Are you able to listen to me? Rahul, you are attending from where? You are where from attending the classes, Rahul? Okay, no need. Rahul is not ready to give the answer. Okay, let us leave it that. So in Python today, I'm going to explain commenting here. Hash mark will be used to comment programming. Any line of code, if you want to comment, means that line of code will not be executed by the Python interpreter. So here, socket programming in Python. In the previous sessions, on Friday, Saturday, this is the Saturday, Friday, last week, I have conducted the classes over socket programming in Java. Okay. So today we will try to understand socket programming in Python. So just I want to give simple introduction about that. Rahul, you're from okay. So, so let me introduce that. These classes are all are free classes. Okay. And as I dreamed that these classes will be taught up to last breath of life. As I told you that I have kept 30 years of service in the army. So it is an open platform. Anybody can join the classes, but minimum just I would like to introduce from their side. So, if anybody is joining newly, and at least I am expecting that they will introduce himself. So, sir, I am from where, my name is this and that. Okay, little bit of details. It is not compulsory. Simply if he wants to introduce, that is better. Otherwise, no need. Okay. So classes will be conducted thrice of a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sharply at 8 p.m. And the recording classes will be kept in YouTube for further reference of the students who are not able to attend the classes. Okay. So if you have any doubt, further reference, you can refer, you can call my number. That is, my number is equal to 91103 91103 98650. And no need of laptop. If you want to write the code, no need of laptop. By the mobile, you can write the coding very easily. Nowadays, so many apps are there. That is one is that for Python, Pydroid, no Android app is there. Pydroid 3. Okay. Pydroid 3. This app for Java, JV Droid. For Python, Pydroid 3 and Java for JV Droid. By these mobile apps, Android apps, you can write the coding in the mobile very efficiently. Since I have started to teach the programming in the mobiles in January 2023, I think 1,000 pages of coding I have written in both the Java and Python. Many students I have sent that code. Okay. So now come to the point, socket programming in Python. First of all, let me explain that some terminology in Python. Terminology. Okay. What is socket programming? Why do we need socket programming? So normally what happens whenever the devices, they are in a network. Okay. Devices means your mobiles, computers, IoT, Internet of Things, like what devices which are having ports, Ethernet ports, otherwise wireless ports. They can be connected, smart TVs. Okay, they can be connected with the internet by wireless network. So IoT means Internet of Things, means devices can be connected to the network through wireless connection. So that moment, how they will communicate with each other? What is the need of networking? So networking is what the main motive of networking is to resource sharing of resources. Sharing of resources. Resources are what? Sending of files, data, anything like suppose if you are sending any PDF text file, Excel file, okay, you can sharing the songs, movies, like what you can send the mail. So like that, sharing of resources. Okay. And one more thing is that what is the need of networking? Management, central management, central management. Central management is what? Suppose a database is stored, a database is created, and that is stored in somewhere else, server that can be managed through the network. Okay. So many users nowadays, we are as a users, we are nowadays enjoying a lot of services like UPI transactions. Okay, we are video streaming content by that is Netflix, Amazon, and food delivery apps. We are everything we are enjoying. That is only by causing of network. Without network, nothing is there nowadays. So how the devices will communicate? By circuit programming. Okay, that is very important. So in circuit programming, some terms. One is that the terms are very important. IP address. Okay, IP address. Next, NIC. I will explain. After that, we will write the code. Next, MAC address. MAC address, port number, port, socket. Okay, next, somewhat these are very this type of terms we need to understand. Okay, and host or node. Okay, and some switches, switch. Okay, comma. Switch means layer 2 switches, huh? L2 switches. They are called simply called L2 switches. L2 switches, routers. Okay, comma, next. Some firewalls. Okay, firewall. And that after that, media. Media is what? Wide media. Wide media. Comma, wireless media. Wireless media. Okay. Next, some networks. Local LAN, local area networks. WLAN, wireless local area network. Okay. And MAN, metropolitan area network. WAN, wide area networks. Okay. In media, wide media, UTP cables. UTP cables. Coaxial cable. Coaxial cable. Fiber optics. OFC cables. OFC. OFC means optical fiber cables. Optical fiber cable. So these terms, as a programmer, whenever you want to write the coding for circuit programming to communicate between two devices, so these terms you must understand. And after that, protocols, some protocols you must understand. What are the protocols? Which type of protocols you need? UDP what? Okay, TCP what? TCP, transmission control protocol. UDP, user datagram protocol. ARP, address resolution protocol. RARP, reverse address resolution protocol. Okay. Next, DNS, domain name system. Domain name system. Somewhere you can find it as domain name service. DHCP, dynamic host configuration protocol. Okay. Like there's so many protocols are there. You need to understand what are the protocols. SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. Okay. POP, post office protocol 3. BGP, borderway gate protocol. So many protocols. So, and what is the meaning of the protocols? So like there's so many, whenever you are as a programmer, so if you means now as a programmer, you can write the applications, gaming application, you can develop by Java, you can develop the game application, you can develop the websites, okay, you can create the desktop applications for the computer based applications, you can develop mobile applications, okay. So many you can develop no, by that is what you are by Java. So that moment, so especially if we are discussing with the circuit programming, which is in Python, to allow the two devices to communicate with each other. So that moment, these terms we must understand that. So simply I want to explain what is that. Here, IP address. IP address is what? IP address means it is 32-bit logical address system. 32-bit logical address means you can simply say that logical address. Why I am using here? It is not permanent address. Okay, MAC address is permanent address. MAC full form. MAC address means media access control. That is what? Media access control address. MAC, media access control address. Otherwise, it has one more name, physical address. Why physical address? It is fixed address. It can't be changed. Okay, physical address. Its one more name is NIC card address. NIC card address. Network interface controller card. Network interface controller card. Network NIC card address. Otherwise, Ethernet address. Ethernet card. Ethernet port address. Ethernet. So many like that. Ethernet. Okay. So why it is physical address? It is 48-bit. 48-bit address scheme. Okay. Now come down. So first of all, let me explain IP address. 32-bit logical address means this number, this address can be changed. This address 32-bit can be changed. The 32-bit means it has 4 octets. Okay. 4 octets. Every octet having 8 bits. One octet is equal to having 8 bits. 8 bits. Bit means 0, 1. Bits 0, 1. So 4 octets means 4 into 8 bit. 1 octet is equal to 8 bits. So 4 into 8, 32 bits. Okay. So this address can be changed. This is called IP address. And whenever you understand about that IP address, you can study about A class address, okay, B class, C class, like that. Media access control. So this is physical address, permanent address. So this address to be represented in hexadecimal number is represented. MAS means MAC address represented in hexadecimal. Okay, format. So normally MAC address, we will consider this as a layer 2 address, because whenever you understand about that, as a computer software engineer, whenever you are studying, apart from the programming, you need to study so many topics, DBMS, database management systems, operating systems, computer networks, okay, computer architecture. So that moment, whenever you are studying about computer networks, that moment you need to understand about the OSI layer structure. OSI layer structure. OSI layer structure, under this OSI layer structure, you need to study about that 7-layer structure. Okay, 7 layers. So that 7-layer structure, so it that is 7 layers means they are not the physically existing layers. They are the virtual layers. Okay, like in our environment, we have studied that so many physical layers are there from the Earth's surface. You can call them as stratosphere, ionosphere, troposphere, F1, F2 layers, D layer. These are the physically existing layers. Okay, the scientists, they told us that up to from Earth surface, Earth environment, Earth surface, up to this 80 kilometer, 50 kilometer troposphere will be there. After that, below troposphere, stratosphere, up to 20 kilometers, like that. Okay. Above troposphere, ionosphere, troposphere is there, like that. They are the physical layers. But in computer networks, these 7 layers, they are virtual layers. They're named as from interface means physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer. 7 layers are there. As a programmer, you need to understand these 7-layer structures. At every layer, they are the virtual layers. They are not physically, okay. Whenever from one device to, because no, this socket programming, it is totally related with the networking. Until unless you don't have any knowledge over these topics as a programmer, I think it is very difficult to write the code for the socket program, because socket programming, it is especially part of either in Java, Python, any programming language which is supporting the networking. Any program, if it's supporting the networking, you as a pro, you must understand about all these terms. Okay. So a 7-layer structure, I don't want to waste the time here. At every layer, what happens, what is the role of the, that is what your physical layer. From physical layer means from there, devices will be connected physically through cables. Okay, otherwise cables, otherwise wireless media. Okay, through a frequency. So from that is physical layer and data link layer. Data link layer, these L2 switches, they will function at the data link layers. Okay, after that, your network layer, routers will function at the, this routers will function at the networking. It is called L3 layer. Okay. So every layer, at every layer, data has a format. At routers, data will be called as packets. Okay. After that, at L2 switch, the data is called as frames. Okay. And at transport layer, the data will be called as datagrams, otherwise segments. So at every layer, data has different format. That is what a physical layer data will be considered as bits. Okay, data will be considered as bits like this bits. Then at physical layer, data will be considered as bits. Next, data link layer, frames. Next, that is what layer 3, network layer. Network layer means packets. Okay. Next, packets. After that, transport layer. Transport layer means datagrams, otherwise segments. Datagrams, comma, segments. You need to understand all the things. Next, session layer, presentation layer, and application. There, they will be called as PDUs, portable data units. Portable data units, okay? PDUs. So every means you need to, as a programmer, you need to understand all the things very well, okay? So I was discussing IP 32-bit logical adder, it can be changed. It has 4 octets. Each octet is 8 bits. Next, come to media MAC address that is declared. It is a fixed address ROM written in the ROM, read-only memory, okay, in hexadecimal format, okay. Now it has different names. I told you that. Why it is called NIC card address? Because this address stored in the NIC card, network interface card, either the NIC card, otherwise wireless NIC card, wireless LAN card, wireless LAN card. Okay. Next is what? OS layer structure. Next, come down some point I want to cover. Port number. What is port? Socket, host. Host is what? Your computer, the terminal device, end device, computer, laptop, your mobile. They are the end devices. They are connected with the, they will be connected with the network. So they are called host, sometime node. So port number. I want to clarify somewhat here. What is port number? Port is what? Port can be defined as what, try to understand. Suppose a computer is providing, it is connected with the computer connected with the network, okay, internet. So computer at a time accessing one service, World Wide Web means by the Chrome browser, otherwise your Microsoft Edge, whatever browsers, it is accessing the web service. So that web service that is being accessed at the port number 80. Port number 80. Okay. So port number 80, you are accessing the web service. Okay. At the same time, you are accessing what? www.amazon.com. So that amazon.com, it is a host name. That is a host name. So for that amazon.com, www.amazon.com. Okay. But amazon.com, how this host address means this is the server address. This server address, the server is somewhere else in America. How this address is being resolved into an IP address? Whose role is this? DNS. That is DNS server. So here service is what? Service is, this is 80 port number will be used to access your web service. Means websites will be accessed. This is service is what? DNS protocol. It converts resolves these addresses into IP addresses. So here conversion IP address to web server address to IP address. Okay. So this is called one service. For port number is equal to what? DNS for 53. Okay. So that moment you are sending a file transfer protocol, FTP. So how these different services, the same time you are sending one more protocol, you are using simple mail transfer protocol, SMTP, mail transferring. Its port number is equal to 25. So means how these total different services, they are being recognized in a computer, because computer is providing to the user different services at the same time. So all these services, different services will be recognized with the port number. Simply you can, I will explain that. See, address, building address. The building address, that building has different rooms. So every room will be considered as a port. But that room address with the can be IP address and MAC address. MAC address is what? Try to understand. You have two addresses. One is your home address, permanent address, that is MAC address. And you have your, if you are moving somewhere else, you now 1 year you are in the Bangalore, you have that address, and you are moving from Bangalore to Chennai, your address will be changed. That is communication address. But your home address is fixed. So that home address will be considered as the MAC address. Okay. You are moving from here and here to there. That is called, it is called your IP address. So simply you can see port is what? Different services will be provided with the different port numbers. Then is what? So these protocols. Protocols, simply I want to focus here. What is protocol here? Protocol. Protocols were some rules and regulations. Some rules, suppose two devices, they need to communicate. Two devices, simply I want to write here, devices to communicate. If two devices want to communicate, so they must follow these protocols. Okay. Otherwise, communication will not be established. Try to understand. If two devices wants to communicate, so they need to follow some protocols. The protocols are what? There are some rules. Okay. There are some rules written by a programmer. The rules will be written by a programmer. As we have some rules while driving the car, walking on the road, you need to keep left. You need to, while you are going, you need to keep left. While you are coming, you need to come, you need to follow right. Like what, So in the networking protocols, what they are the some rules. Protocols, what some rules. If some networking device, if they want to communicate with each other, these rules to be followed. Okay. So as I told you that so many protocols, I have told you that these are all protocols, UDP protocol. Here in socket programming, first of all, TCP protocol will be used here. TCP protocol will be used for. So socket programming, two types. Socket programming, two types. One is that connection oriented, and connectionless. First of all, let me explain what is connectionless and what is connection oriented. What is connection oriented and what is connectionless. So for connection oriented, TCP protocol will be used. For connection oriented, socket programming, connection oriented socket programming, TCP protocol will be used. TCP protocol, what do you mean by TCP protocol? Means it stands for what? Transmission control protocol. Transmission control protocol. So first of all, try to understand what is connection oriented service, socket programming. So in connection oriented, try to understand TCP, this TCP protocol provides us a reliable connection. Provides what? Reliable connection. What do you mean by reliable connection? I will explain. Okay. So first of all, let me write what are the features of TCP, transmission control protocol. It provides the reliable connection. Next word, receiver. Simply I am writing here RX. Receiver will send acknowledgement. To whom send an acknowledgement? ACK, simply I have written acknowledgement. Receiver will send acknowledgement to whom? Transmitter. Means sender. Transmitter means TX. Simply I have written TX means transmitter means you can simply say sender. Okay. Okay. Acknowledgement is what? Acknowledgement means, okay, I have received all the packets. So it will confirm. Receiver will confirm to the sender, okay, I have received the packets. And one is that one more feature of this. Here, try to understand. One more feature. Packets will be received. Packets received, simply received, I have written here. Packets received as sent by the sender. What do you mean of this? Packets received as the order sent by the sender. So whatever the order packets sent by the transmitter sender to the client means server. Sender always is what? So sender is who? Sender means if it is a client server model in our programming. So networking, two types of networking. One is that peer-to-peer networking, peer-to-peer networking. Peer-to-peer networking, within 2 minutes, within 5 minutes, I will try to write the coding for first coding for the socket programming. That is connection oriented, means TCP protocol. Okay. So because within 3 or 2 minutes, this period will be over. After the second period will be started, because this Zoom it is a free version. It will support up to 40 minutes of period. After that, automatically disconnected, but you can join the class again by simply clicking on that. In second period, we will try to understand the coding for this socket programming over TCP. Okay. So in peer-to-peer networking, only the devices, no any server is here. No server, no client. No server, no client. What do you mean? What do you mean of this? As per situation, every device will react as a function as a server. Suppose if it is receiving, so it becomes a client. So now it is sending, so it becomes a server. But in client and server approach, client server approach, client server model. So within this client server model, what happened? Fixed client is fixed, server is fixed. Okay, client fixed, role is fixed here, fixed role of server and client. So what do you mean a fixed role? Mean client fixed, server fixed. So server, it is always available, but client, whenever he needs, he opens his system. Otherwise, he shut down. Client will be shut down. But server, Amazon.com, Flipkart.com, Google.com, 24/7, they will be available. They will be. Rahul, you are from where? You are from. May I know, Rahul, you are from attending the class where? Okay, leave it. So client server, fixed role. Okay. So server will be always available to you 24/7. Okay. So what is the TCP? Reliable, it provides the reliable connection. Okay. It sends the receiver sends the acknowledgement to the transmitter. Okay. And then packets received as the order sent by the sender. So there is no any, suppose if 1, 2, 3 sequence following packets, same in the same way they will be received. Okay. And then it is what we can say, some more features. I think these are enough. So then come down UDP protocol, user datagram protocol, UDP protocol means stands for user datagram protocol used for connectionless circuit programming. Connectionless circuit programming. Okay. Connectionless datagram. Okay. So what are the features of user datagram? Here, no guarantee whether the packets datagrams. Here packets, they will be called as datagrams. Okay. No guarantee. Okay. And no acknowledgement. It is no reliable, not reliable communication, not reliable. Okay. Packets can be, means datagrams can be received any order. Datagrams can be received in any order. Okay. Next, receiver will not be aware of if data is damaged. Any datagram, any information lost, so receiver will not aware of any data being lost. Any data is being lost. So mostly examples of TCP is your email. Example is what? Email. Okay. Somewhat example. So what is the example for this type of UDP protocol? Here, UDP will be mostly used for which service? I will explain in second period. No issue. This TCP will be mostly a simple example, email. Okay. So now this is enough. So now let us write the code. So if I miss any terms, that will be covered in, because now you will get all these what this is actually networking part. But while we are discussing with the Java Python networking, these all terms I have discussed in Java networking also. In that video you can get. So I have kept on all that on YouTube. And you refer Java networking video, and from there I have explained all the things. If I miss any words here, you can get from there also, no issue. So let us write the coding first. So first we are writing the code for connection oriented service of circuit programming. So first of all, we need to understand some terms which are related with the circuit TCP. So here we need to import a module, that is what? Circuit module. We need to import a module. What is the role of this import circuit module? So it's this circuit module, nothing but module in Python. It is a like a folder, In Java, it is called package. Okay. So this module provides so many methods. Okay, it provides many methods.